So you were telling me a story just a few minutes ago about, kind of what you've noticed from way back in the day.
So I remember up until I started a full-time job pretty much when I was in college, and prior to that, I would be judgmental towards workers, different institutions, because we would be going through whatever process it is and starting it, and they'd take a week or 2 weeks to get back to me on something. And I would always think this is such a simple thing. Why can't you take 15 minutes out of your day? And I would kind of take it personally and be like, am I not important? What's going on? And then once I started full-time work, I realized that these people are dealing with hundreds of 15-minute things.
Yeah.
And that it's not a matter of it not being a priority. It's everything is a priority, and everything takes so much time.
Yep. And I think that's really, to your example, I think employees get frustrated because they submit a job application or something like that, and there might be a few days or a week or 2 weeks before they hear back from an employer. And granted, an employer should do everything they can to stay on top of that and not ghost people.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that goes into it. And I've been thinking a lot about, the last couple of days, and even talking to some of our clients. So one of our clients said the other day, you know what? We just spend so much time on employee issues and HR stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We do. So much time.
We do so much time. So even something as simple as an application process, which you would think could go fairly quick, right? There's so many things that come up in between there outside of that one application process. I mean, when HR or said administrator is dealing with compliance issues and paperwork and benefits and phone calls and can't get logged into my timesheet and I screwed up my time. I just the list daily is endless.
Training and requests. And I mean, I was just telling Michaela before this that my one page of emails is the last 2 days, and just how much communication goes back and forth between all of these different people.
Yeah, it does. HR issues and employee issues, understandably so. I mean, that's what our organizations are made of, right?
Mm-hmm.
We would not have our organizations or our companies without our employees. And yet, I think a lot of employers, especially young employers, go into a situation where they don't recognize how much said employment issues are actually going to take. Even if you have a wonderful, great, perfect, jiving team and everything is going well and in the right direction, you're still going to spend a ton of time on those HR issues and administrative issues. It's a lot of work, a lot of time.
And I think it's probably a good thing that it takes that much time, because that means we're taking a lot of time considering this individual circumstance and how, what is the best approach to benefit everyone.
Right.
And if we were taking 15 minutes to talk about one thing and where we should go with it, then that might be a little bit of a red flag.
Very true. And that's why, I mean, it's super important to have somebody in those roles and in those positions, whether it's a dedicated HR person or somebody who is, maybe it's an administrative assistant or an operations person who is trained in some of the HR issues, the compliance issues and all that kind of stuff, but they really have to have a good understanding of people and how people work and how work affects those people. It's so important, and I think it's something a lot of companies kind of take for granted. They just think HR is something we have to do, so we'll shove it over here in the corner. And until they start recognizing that they have issues, or they have, they need to take a good long hard look at their benefits or whatever the case may be, do they recognize how much time it actually takes.
Yep. All that back end work, it adds up.
It does. We can attest to that, right? Basically, in our last tracking of our time with clients and everything we do for our company.
Yeah.
Just in the last week alone. So.
Yep. And most of it isn't even planned. It's just like, it just comes up throughout the day. And
yeah. Our calendar events are like a very small portion of what we actually deal with during the day. So.
Yep. Makes it interesting.